Gang, are you a fan of podcasts and Law & Order SVU? Well, I have the show for you. The seminal SVU podcast, Munch My Benson, is the twisted love child of co-hosts Adam Schwitters and Josh Dugan, celebrating the splendid and often wildly inappropriate lunacy found only on Law & Order SVU. Each week, Adam and Josh walk you through a random episode of SVU, all while sharing their smart and hilarious insight. Find Munch My Benson wherever it is you stream podcasts, or go to munchmybenson.com for more info. That's Munch My Benson. Let's get down. Attention Austin musicians, have you not been able to rehearse for the last 3 months because you've been under quarantine? Have you not been able to play your drums or guitar amps loudly in your home or apartment because it's just too damn loud? Well, I have great news for you, gang. Space Rehearsal and Recording is back open. They have reopened safely. You bring your own microphone, you wear a mask. Call them at 512-448-9518 or go to spaceatx.com. That's Space Rehearsal and Recording. They are back open. Let's get down now.
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
It's time for How Did I Get Here? And now here are your hosts,
All right, hello, I'm Johnny, I'm your host. Welcome to the show. I hope you're having a good week. I'm having a good week, I think. I got together with Skyrocket yesterday, and we played some songs at 1-to-1 Bar doing a live stream test for a private show that we might have in August. They wanted to check out and make sure that the quality was all good, seeing what they were putting their money into. So we did that. But that was the first time that I've played with a band since March 7th. And let me tell you something. It was really exhilarating. It was really fun. It was great to be with my friends. It's great to be with my musical family, the Skyrocket people. All of our gang was there. We got to hang with the Kurt Gannum from 1-to-1 Bar. That was also great. Always great to see him. But yeah, man, it was great playing with the band, being loud. I didn't wear earplugs. I was ready for it, man. I needed an injection of rock and roll. That's what I do, right? That's what I do. And I haven't been able to really do it on that level or play with a band in fucking 3 months. And it's insane. It was so fun. I'm ready to do it again. Hopefully we can do it again, you know. Space is back open. Maybe we'll start rehearsing again. It's going to be weird, though, rehearsing with masks. Anyway, gang, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're safe. I hope you're sane. I hope you're having a good week. As I said, I've been dropping a lot of shows. I dropped 5 shows last week, dropping 5 shows this week. It's crazy. The schedule is crazy. I know it's hard for you to keep up with, but thank you so much for keeping up with it. The numbers have been incredible. And I know people are listening. I know people are getting into these race conversations that I've been having with a lot of my black friends and people I've been meeting. I've been meeting a lot of very, very interesting people and really getting an education on something that I think I really needed an education on. Something I think we all really need an education on as quote-unquote white people. Anyway, that's been great. And I want to thank you for listening. I also want to tell you, if you're just coming to the show for the first time, go like it. Go follow it. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on the Podbean app. We're on Stitcher. Follow us. New shows all the time. Normally, the shows come out Tuesdays and Fridays. Over quarantine, I've done a few weeks of 5 shows a week, which have been crazy. A lot of 3 shows a week and then 2 shows a week. But we're going to go back. We're going to go back to a 3-show a week thing next week. And then we're going to go back to a 2-show a week thing hopefully soon. And I won't wear you out with all these shows. But thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Don't forget, if you like an episode, if you're a fan of the band that's on the show, if you're a fan of the artist that's on the show, please share it and tag us in it. How did I get here? Or you can find me. I'm Johnny Gowdy on Instagram and on Twitter. And How Did I Get Here on Facebook. Get into it, baby. Leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you like the show. All right? And if you really like the show, at the bottom of each of these, of the text of this podcast, is a link to my Venmo and PayPal account. I'm doing a lot of work. I'm putting a lot of shows. I lost a lot of advertising during this quarantine and during this COVID-19 time. And so if you do want to kick in a little something, if you got it, if you don't, hey, I totally understand. The show's free. All right? So thank you so much for listening. Gang, I have a great show for you today. Ruby Dice is on the show. That's right, man. She has new music out. You can find her at rubydice.com. I talked to her a few weeks ago. It had been a while, but we had a really great conversation. I'd never met her before. I mean, she does like the Girl Jam Pack. She plays with the Reverend Few. She plays with Beetroot Revival. She plays with other people, but she's also her own artist, Ruby Dice. Great bass player. You can find her at rubydice.com. That's what I'm saying. All right. She's got a tune out, yellow t-shirt, great song. Love it. She grew up in Colorado, learned music in church. We had a great conversation about her whole journey and her trip down to Austin and how she's assimilated into this great musical scene that we live in. And I really hit it off with Ruby, man. She's very, very cool. She's extremely talented. I love her playing. Listening to all of her stuff and watching all these videos and getting into her playing was really, really fun. I think Ruby Dice is awesome. So go find her on rubydice.com. Look her up on the Spotify and everywhere. She's got new music. I think she's still doing a live on Facebook every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. I'm not sure if that's still happening. When we talked like 3 weeks ago or a month ago, that's what was going on. But if it's not happening, then I'm sure she's doing some other stuff. But Ruby Dice, find her at rubydice.com. Really, really, really great conversation. I hope you enjoy it. She's a super cool person and a really talented lady. This is Ruby Dice and me talking. Let's get down.
It's a cruel world, baby, it's true. Takes a while to sleep into you. Well, it's dangerous to stand apart.
How are you doing?
I'm doing real good. Do I need to turn my phone the other way?
No, you're fine.
Cool.
Thanks for
Awesome.
wearing earbuds because it sounds great.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first Zoom call I've done, like official one. So that's cool.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking to myself when I was setting this up, you're the last page of notes in this notebook of mine. You're the last.
Oh, yeah.
You're the last one. So I was going back, kind of like reminiscing a little while ago, and I was looking at all the people I've talked to over the last couple of months under quarantine, and then kind of remembering what a hassle it was. We were doing them like on Facebook video chat, and then like on Google video chat, and then all of a sudden Zoom. And then I remember the first couple of weeks of Zoom, you had to explain what Zoom was, and then now everyone's on Zoom.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's, I know. I managed to even get my grandma on Zoom, so that's impressive.
Me too. We did my grandma's 97th birthday on Zoom.
Holy
last
cow!
week. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so much fun.
Yeah. So, so you're doing good under this? I mean, like you are a working musician. Like you're not just a Ruby Dice the artist. You're also Ruby Dice the bass player for people's bands and stuff. So I imagine.
Yeah. I managed, I'm glad it hit this year and not previous years, because that would have been a different story. But no, this year was okay for it to hit us. We were kind of set up with like some home studio stuff. So we've still been able to kind of work with other people in that sense still. But yeah, no, it's been a trip. That's for sure.
Do you when you say we, you're talking about you and Callaway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys live together? You're an item?
We do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a sucker. I dated my guitar player. So it's great.
I've seen that happen. I know you've seen that happen.
I have seen that happen a lot. You'd be surprised.
I've been playing for a long time and I've never done it.
Really? It's
weirds me out.
Good,
the idea
man.
of it weirds me out.
Yeah. It's an interesting it's definitely it has its pluses and minuses of working with your partner.
Right.
I guess it'd be like that in any job, though.
When you both also play with different other people as well.
We do. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, that is good. So I was checking out your single Yellow T-shirt that just came out recently.
It did,
right?
yeah.
So that's your first official release.
It is. Yeah. I'm excited. That felt like the most like honest song I could put out at the moment, you know. So it seemed like a good time to put a love song out for everybody.
Yeah. Who produced that?
We recorded that with Dave Scher. So Dave and I just kind of put our minds together and tried to take it to space a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that guy. I've only really talked to him like in this setting, but like we did it face to face before the thing. And I really like that guy. And plus he's so good, man.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave's a wizard. There's no other way to describe that guy.
Yeah. I'm interested. Yeah. So he did a great job with this because this song is, it's so vibey and you have a very like deep groove.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, you really do. As a bass player, you are really in the. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You're like in the pocket, and you're.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, and you're young, right? You're like 25.
I'm about to be 30.
Oh, you're about to be
in
30.
August.
Why did I think
So,
you were
yeah,
25?
yeah.
Oh, was I reading an old? No.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe I don't know. So you're about to be 30, and how long have you lived here?
About 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you moved here from Colorado.
I did.
What brought you here?
Yeah. You know, I had been running a business in Colorado for a while, and I was like, I just wanted to take a break and like kind of have like a breather before I figured out what I was actually going to do. And music seemed like the best option, and I had family close to here, so it made sense to move down south.
What kind of business did you have in Colorado?
I ran a dessert shop.
Oh,
so,
that's nice.
Yeah, I was kind of like Willy Wonka in Gunnison. It was great.
That's a pretty small town there, Gunnison, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a tourist
tiny.
town.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What goes on there, like hiking and shit?
Yeah, lots of hiking, skiing, anything outside imaginable happens there. You know, so not much for shopping. I think the closest mall was 3 hours away. So like, definitely like a destination. Like it's out there. It's cool.
Is that where you grew up?
It is. Yeah, born and raised. Yeah.
It says that you learned music in church.
I did. Yeah. My dad was a deacon when I was a kid, and he became a preacher.
Real quick.
Oh, sorry.
What is a deacon?
It's like one of the leaders in the church.
One of the guys.
one of those guys. You know, they shake your hand when you walk in.
So is that like a full-time gig when you're a deacon? That's your job?
In some churches, I think like this, it's such a small town. The church is like, it's a part-time job for him. He became the preacher when I was, like, I think 17. So
what was the denomination?
That was a evangelical, it's kind of like a more hyper version of Baptist, I guess.
So are there a lot of rules? Is there a lot of...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, lots of rules, but like, yeah, I don't know. There's lots of good people too, though. So yeah. I'm
not doubting it. I'm not like trying to do a gotcha, like, whatever.
Oh, no.
I'm fascinated because I was raised like, I'm Hispanic. I'm Cuban. My parents were born in Cuba. And so we have a very intense tie with Catholicism. And, like Latin Catholicism, like people have saints in their yards, like life-size saints and stuff. And somehow in some place, maybe when I was a teenager, my mom died. It was a very intense scene. And maybe I just lost whatever kind of idea of faith I might have had and kind of went on a path of like a faithless human for the rest of my life. And so when I meet people that have some kind of tie or some kind of faith, like I just talked to Grace Pettis yesterday. She was talking about how she came to Catholicism as like a teenager. Yeah. And now she's like involved in it and she's into it. And to me, that's fascinating. And there's all kinds of, I know you know Sarah Dawsey, right? Didn't you guys play together or something? Yeah. Yeah. She's also a person that has faith and acts in that world. So does Natalie Price as well. And so I'm kind of fascinated. Are you still involved?
No. I kind of went the opposite direction as well.
You
And,
did like me, like the okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's good. There's good lessons there, but
Yeah, the great lessons.
It's great lessons for real. No, I love a lot of the stories and stuff, and a lot of history that's like pretty accurate there. As far as like if you go to Israel, like they kept really great records, so it is really interesting to read that stuff. For me,
did you go there as a kid and stuff, like on like?
No, I haven't gone yet. My parents have gone a bunch, and like they've like shown pictures and stuff, and like that's fascinating to me because that's just like our history as a culture, you know, as a human race. But I definitely I think religion had its time and place, but I think a lot of people tend to let it hold them back a little bit, as far as like just accepting people as people. So. Well,
that's the one thing I was going to say about all these modern guys that I just named by name, Natalie Price, Sarah Dawsey. They're all very woke, but still tied to the teachings.
It's cool to see.
Yeah. They don't have like a lay some weird trip on you kind of thing, or a glazed over look, you know.
Yeah.
Of like a newfound person. So your parents, they when your dad became a preacher, was that the full time? Like, what was his job? What did he do for a living?
He's still he runs a hardware store.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I grew up putting like nuts and bolts up in aisles and stuff. So like, I can tell you where the hammer is. No, he still does that. He's a preaching hardware man back in Colorado. So
that's pretty unbelievable. Did you? Yeah. Were you homeschooled or anything like that?
I was for like I think like a year and a half or something. I had to get reconstructive surgery, so they took me out for a little bit just because I was missing a lot of school, recovering and stuff. But
what kind of reconstructive surgery did you have?
I got hit in the face.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's my nose. Like this is all like plastic in here. I got hit in the face with a ski lift when I was little, so they had to go in and. Yeah.
How little were you?
I was 8 when it happened, so like I had to like
not paying attention or something.
No, it was an old school ski lift, so they have like all these little like family owned, just really old, like some of the first ski lifts that were up in Colorado. So it's like this big metal pole with a big metal like hockey puck looking thing on the bottom of it.
You put it between your legs. Yeah.
Well, I didn't get on it quite right, and it got me.
Wow.
But
so how long were you out?
It didn't knock me out or anything. Like it kind of like sent me for a loop, but no, I don't think I was knocked out at any point for that. Yeah.
What did your mom do there?
My mom came and ran up and started burying my blood in the snow. She didn't want to scare the other kids. I was like, Mom, I'm still sitting here bleeding. Like, yeah. No, she's funny. She's a hoot.
What did she do for a living?
She helped in the hardware store.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a bookkeeper.
The family hardware store.
Yeah.
So did you have brothers and sisters? Do you have brothers and sisters? I don't know why I'm speaking in the past tense. That's just a weird thing to do.
Yeah. Oh no. I do. I have 2 brothers. One younger, but he's like 6'5", so big little brother. And then my older brother's a nurse over in Denver, and then my older sister's living over in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me. Okay. So you got to music through going to church.
Yeah.
And was there was it a choir? Was it a band? Were you part of it? What was going on?
As far as like playing bass goes at church, I guess like as far as like playing music, my whole family plays. So like family reunions as a little kid, they were just passing around instruments to you. You know, it's kind of like musical chairs, but with instruments. So I did have a lot of instruments through my hands before actually like concentrating on like bass in church. The bass player left and the pastor at the time was like, hey, you seem to kind of know instruments. Here you go, learn this. And,
What
yeah.
What were you playing at the time?
I was playing flute mainly at the time.
And he was like, "Oh, you could probably play bass." How old were you?
I was 14.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What were you like listening to musically at the time?
You know, for me, this before like Pandora and all those streaming services came out, I didn't have a ton of access. So it was a lot of church music and a lot of like kind of bluegrass that we had just around our house and stuff. And but once Pandora came out, I really got into like Nora Jones and like Sarah Bareilles and kind of all the big female. And I feel like I since then have like taken steps back and like figured out how to. I can't talk at the moment. I've learned more about older artists through new artists, I guess.
Yeah.
So like,
I always think that's a cool thing. You know, that's like a lot of people that are older, even like I'm 51, but like even guys that are older than me learned about Muddy Waters because they bought a Rolling Stones album and the Rolling Stones talked about like, oh, this is what we're into. And they're like, oh shit, let me check that out. Yeah. That's cool. I love that. Yeah. So when you say church music, what kind of music was it? Was it like Christian rock or was it like?
Yeah, you know, it was a mix. We did a lot of my folks were really into like hymns and stuff. So we would do a lot of hymns. But when my older brother got older, he took over as like worship leader. It's like a whole family run thing. But he got really into like the Hillsong, which is like kind of like Christian rock.
Okay.
A little more contemporary than the old hymns. But
do you like that stuff?
You know, I do.
Christian rock.
I like some of it. I definitely have some that I'm not a fan of, but some of it's pretty good. Yeah.
It's I don't hear it all. You know what I mean? Like I'll catch a bit and a piece maybe when I'm driving to a gig in another city or something and I'm doing the radio roulette game. And I'm never really blown away like musically or song wise or
they definitely have like their artists that they make that aren't quite the secular artist, but
right.
they put out their version of what's popular at the moment. I think that's probably a pretty common thing across the board though.
Yeah. So this guy gives you this bass. They have a bass there. What was it? You remember what bass it was?
Yeah, it was this. My sister still has it. Actually, it's this sparkly blue Ibanez. My sister plays bass too.
That's pretty killer.
Yeah,
sparkly blue Ibanez.
Oh, it was great. I have a leopard print strap somewhere that it came off of that one. But it was pretty sweet looking bass.
So what happened when you got the bass? Because there's something about like I've watched a bunch of videos of you. I've watched some of your live streams. And watching you play bass, I get it. I get this sense of connection like you do, when you see somebody like Eric Johnson or something play guitar, where there's a connection this person has with this instrument that is very unnatural. A little too close.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that because I'm jealous.
Too much time in my room.
Yeah, there's a little bit too much of a connection between you and that wooden thing. You realize it's not a person, right?
Oh man, I know. I need to talk to more people, I think.
So like when you got the bass, did you have like this like, oh my God?
No, I thought it was the dumbest thing at first. I hated it. And then it took me getting into like a college band that really got me into like playing bass, because I was like, oh, this can be like fun and not just standing there like wishing I wasn't playing on a church. I wasn't a big fan of playing in church as I got older, kind of rebellious teenager.
How long did you play? Because you started when you were like 14, you said?
Yeah. So I played every Sunday and Wednesday pretty much if I was around until I was like probably 19, and then I started playing with other people that were playing like old blues and like a lot of Muddy Waters and Black Keys, and really got into that scene. And I think that playing the blues just like really teaches you a lot of feel in general, like being able to like really kind of breathe with that kick drum when you're playing. Cause like I play and sing at the same time. So I kind of like have to almost have it be like mechanical at some points if I'm trying to like, it's almost like a split brain thing.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. It was a really good way to like learn feel and just learn how to be right there with that drummer every time they're hitting that kick drum.
It's funny that you say that, because right now when you say that, it dawns on me that there's a finite number of bass lines in blues. So you're basically kind of just running the same. You're doing reps.
Yeah.
And so eventually the notes are already there, and what it becomes about is the micro beats within the beat and where you place that note.
Yeah.
Which is what makes you cool.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think when I first got to Austin, I just I took every gig. I still kind of do that. Like I'm pretty high energy, so it takes a lot to wear me out. So
yeah.
I like to play with as many people as possible oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. You'd like to play with as many people as possible because you learn?
Yeah. Everybody plays differently, and everybody has. So if you're like really listening to the rhythms and the notes that are placed around things, I feel like it's just a way to really streamline learning your instrument. Because if somebody messes up here, you have to learn how to catch that almost and try to make it feel like there wasn't any space missing or vice versa. Like it's I love playing in bands because it's like teamwork, it's you're all painting an audible picture for everybody to,
everyone's playing their part too.
Yeah.
And also you're in a band.
Yeah, and it's fun.
You're like in a you got a group, you got friends.
Yeah, got buddies.
Yeah, that means a lot, Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been great quarantined with these guys around. Like, our drummer lives right across the parking lot, so we made our little quarantine out of.
Yeah, I saw you guys jamming together the other day on that thing.
Yeah.
Really. All right, so wait, let's go back to Gunnison. And so you got in these college bands. Would you go to college?
I took classes. I didn't do a whole lot of college. No, I was running a business, so it was,
you were running the dessert candy. You were Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I was Willy Wonka. So it was some long weeks.
Tell me how that came to be.
Well, my dad got really into building buildings for a second. So he had built a strip mall on this big piece of property he had bought with the intent he wanted to rent out the spaces and we were having trouble filling that one. And he was like, hey, do you want to take over this idea that I have to have, because there was no like dessert shops in that town, really, besides like coffee shops. And like one of our favorite things when I was a kid was like he loved to take his kids out to the Sunday shop after like, work or something. And he decided to put a dessert shop in town. So he had me run it, and it was really good training. I got to learn how to like, just balance business books, which is super handy to have as an adult, it turns out. And like, doing business taxes and scheduling people and just like manager.
So
type.
you weren't the pastry chef or something?
Oh, I was. Yeah, I did that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, it was pretty much just me and my little brother running it. We didn't really have employees. We every once in a while we would hire somebody to help out, but like, mostly just the two of us in there. So.
What are you, like 18 or something, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I was 18.
18, you're running this dessert shop, making the desserts. Did you have it? You weren't a pastry chef.
I went to Durango. They have a chocolate school there, and I'm
Became a
an official
chocolatier?
I'm a chocolatier. So yeah,
Wow.
I can. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can make like little tuxedo strawberries and stuff.
So in this
Yeah.
group of friends, say if the girl jam pack, if somebody has a birthday in there, are you in charge of the cake making?
No, actually, I should volunteer those services. I haven't yet.
Or not,
I,
because if not, you're like the guy with the truck, and so every time somebody needs to move, they call you. So you're just always baking cakes. You got to be careful. It's a slippery slope.
It could be a slippery slope. Maybe don't be telling people this stuff, man.
No.
No.
So you're a certified chocolatier. I need to write that down. That's pretty impressive. I love it when I have people on here. Like there's lots of people that sing, there's lots of people that write songs, there's people that play bass. Never had a chocolatier on here, man. That's killer.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
I could show you. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to ask you about a chocolate fountain because I remember when they had that chocolate fountain at Whole Foods. Did you ever see that? It was just always going, just dripping chocolate, and I always just wanted to put my hands in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude, that would probably be pretty gnarly. I know. Most of the time, if it's like a constant going, it's definitely not something you'd want to eat. It's like mixed with like oil and stuff to keep.
It
Yeah,
might have just been for show.
yeah. Oh, totally.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the dessert shopping. How long did you do the dessert shop and playing around Gunnison?
Oh shoot. Well, the shop itself, like 2.5 years. Yeah, I played pretty much the whole time through, which was really awesome. Like it was surprising how much, like it was almost like having another job playing gigs up there. Like you can make some decent money on tour season. So like I had been like just saving up a bunch, and we ended up moving the chocolate store because we had somebody interested in renting that space out from us. That was like, so we just kind of consolidated it and made like a little snack bar inside the hardware store. So I had a lot more people to help out and run it. So that's kind of like still an ongoing thing back home. And,
so let me ask you this, because there's like a thing that happens. I've noticed it happened to me and a lot of people that I talk to on the show, is that the one day you wake up and the dream takes hold. Like, and nothing can stop you. Like, this is it. I'm on this journey as a musician, and that's it. No one's going to stop me. No matter how,
totally
fucked up things get, I don't care. I'm going to do it. If I have to live on the street, as long as I have a bass, I'm down, like when you were when you got out of high school and you started running the dessert shop and you were playing in those bands, what kind of dream did you have?
I don't really know when it bit me. I think I had always kind of wanted to play music for a living when I was a kid, but I just didn't ever think it was like a thing that could happen, like actually making money off of it. Cause like, what are the chances of, and I had a friend that had been looking at Austin, and he's like, no, I think you can actually like gig for money out there and actually build something slowly. Cause like looking at LA and stuff, it's like, I just didn't even know Austin existed really. And like places existed where you could go and gig as a musician and be okay financially. Yeah. So that I think when I realized that like it was actually a possibility, it was kind of just a reckless abandon for it after that. It's
that's
like,
that's how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, Yeah.
Like once you're like, this is what I'm doing, it's just, yeah. It happened to me when I was like 13,
totally.
and I just remember like grown-ups being like, I mean, what is wrong with that guy? I mean, eventually they, they were like, oh, he's He's really doing it. He just wants a job. That's his job, you know?
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah. And people, like, were there any, out of all the music people in your family, was anybody a pro?
A pro?
Professional musician?
Actually, I think the closest thing to a pro would be my grandma. She's a fiddle player, and she gigs all the time out in California. Like she lives in this little like farm town up there, and she's at the pizza shop like once or twice a week, just sawing that fiddle.
Right.
Yeah.
God, that is awesome. That is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nobody made a living off of playing in your family.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, definitely.
Because when I was growing up, my mom was friends with musicians, and so I knew you didn't just have to be, Lady Gaga to make a living. Like, there's a guy that plays bass for Lady Gaga or drums or something, and then there's guys at this place, and there's a guy that plays with 18 different people, and that's just what he does. He's a musician.
Yeah.
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 So,
Totally.
So your friend told you about Austin, and would you come down here and check it out?
Yeah. Yeah. He was a guitar player. He was moving here, so we kind of moved the whole band out here.
Oh, you moved here with a band.
I did. Yeah. It was fun. It was a good like way to get gigs right out the get go and kind of meet more people. There's more of you moving out there. So.
Yeah. What kind of band was it?
It was a blues rock band, so
Okay.
it was definitely like Black Keys and a lot of like Cream covers and yeah.
You like Jack Bruce?
I do,
Yeah?
yeah. I love Jack Bruce. He has some great bass lines. Yeah.
So what happened? You guys moved down here, and what? It just didn't. You guys were like, oh man.
Yeah. He got bored and eventually was like he went back to medical school and yeah. So I had been kind of playing with other people at that point, and just the more people I played with, the more I think I enjoyed music. Cause there was some weeks like I would do 7 to 9 gigs a week there for a minute, and different set lists. So it was like you'd wake up at like 9 a.m. to start practicing songs for the night before, trying to fit everybody in. It's fun. I kind of enjoy the chaos of that sometimes. You can't do it too much because that's a lot to keep up with. But
Yeah. Where was the first place you went when you came here that you were like, oh yeah, I'm going to stay here?
Shoot, I think it was honestly like it was 6th Street kind of blew my mind coming from a tiny town, and like every bar had music, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much potential in this town. And then spreading out, like definitely South Congress area was the sold tag on it for me, because it just felt like a community as soon as you walked into that place,
Like it did Saxon or 1-to-1 or something.
Yeah, all those places. You can feel the family vibe when you walk in.
There's something
it's
unique
cool.
about that. Yeah, it's whatever it is that's residual from the old times,
Yeah, I guess so.
or so they say. I don't know.
Must be.
So who all did you start playing with when you moved here?
Man, everybody. Calloway was like one of my first ones that was really getting me in. He got me in with Grace Pettis.
Okay.
On some gigs.
So
and
you've been
then,
playing with her for a while then.
For a while,
And you
yeah.
still play with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, off and on. She's been pretty busy these last couple of years. I'm her second bass player
Okay.
in line. So, yeah. And then Reverent Few, I played with them for a long time. Yeah, that band really, that's a great band to play with too. If you like groove and feel, because that's all those guys are.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. Who
Nick,
else?
Nick is great. He has great feel on guitar. He really does.
Yeah.
And what's the name of
Yeah.
the drummer? I just talked to them recently. I have to redo it this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I messed up the sound.
Oh
So I
shoot.
have to redo the Reverent Few. Yeah. What's the drummer's name?
Ashlyn.
Ashlyn. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
really good too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you moved here, you start playing with all these people, you're getting out, and then what pushed you to do your own?
You know, the biggest thing for me starting out with this was because I didn't really sing when I moved here. That's been like a new thing in the more recent years. But yeah, I'd been in so many bands that the like lead singer would just quit or somebody would quit, and then all of a sudden like you don't have a tour for the summer and you're high and dry with no gigs, you know. And it's like it was more about just like job security at the end of the day. And I once I started singing, I was like, oh, I actually really enjoy this. And writing songs came shortly after that. And I don't know, it's a new side of the art that I'm just now starting to really break into, but it's I love it. It's cool.
Are there people that you listen to all the time? And or is there?
Man, I'm all over the board with a lot of it. I've been listening to a lot of like Devin Gilfillian. I always go back to like a lot of blues roots because that's I feel like that's been something that I've listened to the most of.
Who do you listen to in the blues?
Blues, for a long time, like my teen years, it was like Bonnie Raitt and stuff. Listened to a lot of her. I love Electric Mud.
I don't know what that is.
The Muddy Waters album where it's just overdrive and like just kind of when I say blues, it's definitely not like Pierce blues. I like the bash and thrash blues, I guess. that like Midwestern like White Stripes and sorry about that.
That's okay.
Back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a big mix. Man, I need to get better at like
I like that in your bio they reference Black Keys and White Stripes, but neither of those bands have a bass player.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Who are your are there bass people that you particularly groove on?
Wow, I can't say what's his name. I always try to call this guy JJ Johnson. It's not JJ Johnson. That's a drummer. Oh shoot, he I can never recall his name off the top of my head. James Jamerson.
Oh yeah, James Jamerson.
Yeah. He's as far as just like creative bass lines go, he's one of the best. Carole King, holy crap, she's amazing. Yeah, her like album Tapestry is incredible. I've been digging into that this whole like pandemic pretty much.
What a great record. Do you play piano?
She's incredible. She played keys on them.
No, that's a different person. Carol Kay is a bass player. Carole King is a songwriter.
Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, they're different people. No, it's all right.
Yeah.
Carole Kay played bass on like Pet Sounds and like half of the records made in the 60s. And guitar. Yeah. She was a guitar player, but she just ended up kind of playing bass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, she has that thing. Did you watch that Wrecking Crew movie?
Yeah, I did.
Where she focuses like it has to swing like through the whole movie. That's her. Yeah. That's her message. Like, got to make it swing, buddy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? I mean, you said you guys were getting? Are you doing sessions for other people there in your place? Do you get tracks from people?
Bit. I'm doing like mostly videos at the moment. It hasn't been like a lot of tracks yet. I just did get my Logic X all up and working. I'm not an engineer yet, so I'm still kind of in the learning process of that. But no, we are starting to get like track offers and stuff. We're going to the studio next week. Actually, we're doing a quarantines. We're going to be in different rooms, but kind of still doing some of it old school. But Sorry,
Wait.
what was the question? I went off on a rabbit
I was about to
trail.
say, what was that answer?
Yeah.
So is that for you, for Ruby Dice? Because do you have a record coming out? Is that what Wild Ones is?
Yeah. That's the record. It was supposed to come out on April 18th, the whole thing. But with all this going on, I was like, I decided to kind of release it just one at a time.
A song at a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Since I didn't have a hard set date anymore I was like, well, shoot, I'll just release it as singles. And then hopefully we can have like a small live stream from a venue for the final release have the albums for sale after that.
Yeah.
Was my thought on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Where you have you seen the stuff they've been doing at 1-to-1 is really good. You guys play there a fair amount, right?
We do. Yeah.
Do you tour around Texas or regionally or?
I have with other bands. We're just starting to get our feet wet. We've mostly been an Austin band and surrounding areas. So we'll do like Llano and, but yeah, mostly we've just been sticking around Austin. This year was the year that we're hoping to tour around. We're supposed to be in Toledo, like Ohio area.
Oh, bummer.
Later this month. We'll see. There's one gig that they said, but we're kind of taking it one step at a time and seeing how the world is reacting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how are you reacting to this? How are you reacting to this? Are you scared? Are you angry?
No, not angry. It feels like it almost feels like a positive thing that the whole world is pausing for a second in the way that, like, I don't remember a time in my life where the whole world just stopped and everybody just kind of saw each other as people. I think and maybe that's just what I've seen on my experiences with people, but I don't know. It seems like the world was almost running too fast for itself there for a while. I don't know if this is a bad thing. I hope it's not. I know that there's a lot of tragedy happening, but
well, there's nothing wrong with looking on the good side of things.
Yeah, and just, I think just everybody understanding that this is new for everybody. So it's just having a lot more empathy for each other, and I think this could be a beneficial thing for us as a species in the longer run.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You've been doing these live streams every Tuesday on Facebook at 7:30. You're going to continue to do those?
I think.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. It's been really nice to even after things go back to normal, I think we're just going to keep doing it because it's nice for our parents to tune in, and they don't get to see us play that often, so it's nice to be able to put something out. And I'm having a blast learning all the studio gear doing it. It's more toys to play with, so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great. Have you been able to write during this time at all? Have you had any inspiring?
Yeah. No, I've written. I wrote 4 songs in one day a while back. I'm not convinced all of them are good, but they just kind of fell out. And then some days, I write 2 lines in a whole day, and it's like, but it's been good.
Do you try to sit down and write every day?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the exercise of it, and if something happens, cool. And most of the time, I can get something out. And the cool thing about like music these days is you can take a 30-second idea and you can still sell that to a commercial or something. If it's jammy, like, doesn't necessarily need lyrics, and you get to learn other instruments over the top of it, and just more practice.
Yeah. So you're cutting tunes and stuff. Do you play drums at all?
Yeah. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. That's one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm working on the keys right now, and I've got like guitar down, and I'm starting to be able to kind of solo a little bit. But yeah, one instrument at a time for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Tell me about the Girl Jam Pack. How do you like that?
Oh, I love it. It's cool, man. It's that's one thing that I'm probably one of the most bummer gigs that aren't happening right now, because it's like the definition of teamwork in a band for me. You've got 5 women that are just there the purpose of it is to show support for each other, and I just think that's a really cool thing. I think that's a good thing to have out there in the world,
Yeah. Yeah. Who plays drums in that band? Is it a dude?
Yeah, most of the time it's Michael Davila, but we have Katie Marie that plays as well.
All right. Be good to have all ladies there.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I've seen Dave share in some photos, and I'm like, well, he's all right.
I mean,
I don't mind him hanging with the ladies, but
he's pretty good.
yeah, he is pretty good. Anyone? Who do you go see when you go see music here in town? Who did you used to go see?
I miss my Greyhound shows so much. That's I loved seeing those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Get funky, man. And Barfield.
Oh yeah,
Barfield was
Tyrant of Funk.
Oh yeah, his like maracas shaking. Like, I love it. Who else? Emily Gimble.
I love Emily.
She would. I think she's. I thought I saw a video. I can't tell like what's new and what's old, because there are some like gigs. I've played one gig. No, I played 2 gigs. We did Rustic Tap the other night, and it was like the stage was way far back, and it was good, like dipping our toes, being around people again. Just wear masks off stage. Bring your own mic.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We'll see. But no, Emily Gimble, she's fantastic. I love the way she plays. Who else around town? There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, aren't there?
Yeah.
How did you played bass with Dossie when she was doing the lady band?
I did. Yeah.
You guys still playing, or was that going on until the quarantine, or?
I was starting to get super busy with other projects, and she was she was looking for somebody a little more full time. So she got this other bass player. I think her name's Primos.
Oh yeah, Primo. Yeah, she's my friend.
Dude, she's awesome. She's so good. Yeah, I love watching her play. So she's playing with Dossie now.
Okay.
And yeah.
That's awesome.
It's good. It's good.
So when are you dropping the next single?
The 30th.
Okay.
Of this month. So yeah,
okay, so by the time this comes out, there will be 2 songs. What's the name of the song that's coming out?
Oh, Wild Ones.
Wild Ones. Okay, so that's the newest single.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Is there anything else I'm missing?
Shoot. I don't know.
I want to hear it. Like, what's your rig? Like, what kind of bass do you play?
Oh, I have a Rumble Cat Epiphone. That one's pretty cool. That's a Alan Woody signature model. I call her Little Frida. She looked like a Freddie King's big red guitar that he was playing on. I forget what concert it was, but yeah. So that's Little Frida. She's pretty cool. She has just 2 big humbucker pickups in it, so that's nice for studio stuff. And then I have this little Mustang bass.
I got those.
Dude, it's so cool. It has the pickup switch option, so it's a P bass and a jazz bass in one.
Oh, nice.
And I can. Oh yeah, it's great.
Are you a little person? Are you tiny? How tall? I can't tell how tall anybody is anymore.
I'm 5'4", so I'm not super tall, but I'm not. I'm probably about normal size.
I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah, I use short scale basses just because I'm spastic and a little ADD. So like if I whip around, like I don't want to take out a mic stand or something like.
Okay, yeah,
So, yeah,
Some
yeah.
dancing going on.
Yeah, I can tend to be a little spastic on stage sometimes. So having smaller things for me to move around, and plus, like I just don't want to be reaching. It's a lot of more work to reach your arm that much farther out, all night if you're, doubling up on gigs or something.
Yeah. Are there lady bass players that inspired you?
Yeah, it's weird for me. It's a lot of my like bass people that I follow aren't necessarily big in the music world as much as they are on YouTube. I got really into this chick Lydia Von Meer, and like was following all her bass lines for a while, and she's like out of like I think Iceland or something, like just yeah, she's pretty cool. I'll send you a link. She's real funky. She does a lot of cameo covers and like
Oh, cool.
Like yeah, no, it's good. It's groovy. Yeah, there's been a few yeah, I don't know.
What's the girl that plays with Jeff Beck? Tal Wilkenfeld?
Tal Wilkenfeld?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's great, man.
Yeah, she's really good.
I never.
She's very super muso though. Like she's very like prog.
Yeah.
Are you prog? You're not prog, man. You're
No.
blues and rock, man.
No, I'm definitely more groove driven.
Yeah.
She tends to be more notey.
Very notey.
Kind of like almost on the Victor Wooten side or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a bit much on the bass. Although you never know. I mean, also you sing, so
I do.
how much shit are you gonna do?
Yeah. Stand on my head while I do it.
Well, I remember like once I started playing music and kind of being in a band, like I was probably like 14 or 15 or something, and I heard a song I'd heard my whole life. Jesus. All My Loving by the Beatles. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Close
yeah,
your
yeah.
eyes and I'll kiss you. I remember realizing like hearing the bass line for the first time, like as a person that was starting to hear bass lines, and I was like, wow, that's just going the whole time. Dun 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 dun. Like every beat is a new note. And then I was like, fuck, that guy's got to sing too. And like, how does he do that?
Yeah. Paul McCartney is insane. His like it blows my mind when I listen to his bass lines when he's singing those like hard harmonies on top of it. Like the melody lines and like, no, it's, I'm almost intimidated to learn some Beatles songs because it's so, no, what's the one that it's oh shoot, what's the name of
Birthday?
that? No, it's
Sounds like you're saying Pretty Woman. Dun 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 dun. Pretty Woman.
maybe that's it. No.
No.
Shoot, I can't remember. I've got one on my YouTube list for me to learn. Yeah, his bass lines are insane though. When I've never seen anybody write anything like that since then.
Yeah.
That's
you're into pedals. I saw you're starting to get into some pedals.
starting to. Dossie was the influence of that. Yeah, she. I started using some. I was using a fuzz pedal with her for a minute, and no, it's been fun. I like making some weird noises and textures and
Fuzz bass is badass.
oh yeah. I found this Boss Overdrive pedal that I've been using recently, and it's nice. That one's cool because you can turn the fuzz off and just use it as a straight boost.
It's a boost. It doesn't cut out any of the low end.
No,
That's great.
not that I've noticed. Yeah,
how about the
if it
envelope
does-
follower? Feeling like
Oh, I
Bootsy
love
Collins when you use that thing?
Oh yeah, that's great. I love it.
That's awesome. There's something else I wanted to ask you. Oh, I missed it while we were going on it, but I'm going to bring it back. Is that okay?
Yeah,
I'm going to go back to another part of our conversation, which is you said you were learning songs like you were playing with like 7 different people in a week.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're learning all these songs. What's your process in learning songs as a side person?
You know, it's evolved over the years. I'm a bit ADD, so when I have that many songs lined up, it takes a while to get in the groove for it. So like I have to go for a run and then sit down and I'll sit there for 3 or 4 hours and do a brick of songs and chart it all out. And I typically I want to have the song pretty much memorized. Like the notes are just there for reference in case I have a Space Cadet moment. But like when I'm on stage, I want to be able to like move around and groove and put on a show. I don't want to be stuck to my notepad the whole time. So like, my process is just trying to get it down to like the most minimal notes possible before I can stick it on one page. The goal is to have just one page on stage if it's a brand new gig for me. Just because like I know that like if I'm on notes, I'm not gonna look at them and pay attention to them on stage. I'm gonna be distracted by things, so it needs to be somewhat stuck in my head before. If it's a complicated gig, there's some gigs, I play with Jordan Matthew Young sometimes, and he's great. But like, that's a lot of like, there's some gigs that you can just go sit in on, playing with like Jimmy Dreams. He does a lot of like Cajun New Orleans type funky stuff. And like, if you have somewhat of a grasp on that kind of music, you can translate over for the most part. But yeah, those harder gigs, I guess it just depends on the gig.
Yeah. I had a very close friend that passed away a few years ago. Did you ever know George Reef when you moved here?
No, I didn't get to meet him.
And we had this talk when I first started the podcast, I think it was, but I asked him to walk me through his process because I do sideman shit too all the time. And I find myself getting overwhelmed and not really having a great process because I don't do it all the time, but I do it. And so his thing was he doesn't even pick up an instrument until he knows the song. If you know what I mean. Like that was his deal, was like I don't even try to figure out what key it's in until I know it already from listening to it. And so there was a lot of like intensive listening. Is that what you do when you go running? You listen to it? Yeah.
That's a big part of it. You're already getting it drilled into your head before you ever, because it's just frustrating trying to like learn the melody while it's too many things going on.
Are you a good harmony singer?
I'm getting better. I haven't done a whole lot of it, but
it helps with getting the work too,
Oh yeah,
being able to be on that shit.
Oh, for real? No, I feel like I've like gotten to where like I can sing pretty much any harmony over bass lines if I practice it enough.
Yeah. Man, Dossie sang with me in my band over the last couple years. She's great.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah,
great at finding harmonies.
Yeah. So you still put yourself. What does it take? You have to dig the music, and there has to be, or do you do the 3 things? Like cool
totally.
people. If it does 2 of the 3 things, then you'll do it. Like the cool people.
Yeah.
Money, good music. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
When I start playing again, I'd love to play with you. I really like your feel, and you seem to have a really cool energy. And I'd love to see what someone like you translates to like my whatever power pop music, guitar music.
Oh, I would love that.
Not to make this whole podcast about me, but it is my show.
I would love. Yeah. It's your show. Do what you want.
So people can find you live streaming every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. That's on the Ruby Dice, your music page on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And you'll have a new single out, Wild Ones, by the time this comes out. And people can find you at rubydice.com. Is there anything else I'm missing? Callaway has really made his, the last two podcasts I've done, today and yesterday, he's part of the thing. I did Grace Pettis's yesterday. And yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets around town a lot. He's real quiet. So I don't think like he doesn't really promote himself on social media all that much, but like, no, he's a very social fella, getting out in the scene and playing with different people.
Yeah.
So,
You're a young person. You like social media?
no, I don't. It's taken me a minute. I'm definitely one of those cases. If I have the option, I'll leave my phone under my bed and not check it for 3 days if I
Okay.
can. But no, I enjoy numbers, and I kind of enjoy watching like stats of different things, and like it's, to me, it's almost like studying people. That's the only way it becomes interesting to me sometimes is like the psychology of it is
Right.
interesting to me. But yeah.
All right. Anything else? Is there anything else I'm missing? Is there anything I'm missing? Period.
I don't think so. I think we covered a lot of stuff.
We did cover a lot of stuff. Do you still dabble in the chocolatiering at all? You ever pop out with the chocolate for people? You have any recommendations?
There's La Mexicana is a great bakery on South First Street. I love that place.
Very good.
Oh yeah.
So
and big tacos too.
I interrupted you when you were saying if you chocolated anymore, if you chocolatier anymore.
I've been baking a lot of pastries lately. I made a goat. I did like goat cheese, a goat cheese tart, and I did like lime and mint and cherry, kind of like a limeade.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Type thing.
Yeah, cherry limeade.
Oh yeah. It was good. There's going to be some changes to the next one, but like maybe like a basil lavender
Oh
tart
yeah,
or something. Yeah.
getting into
That'd be
that
good.
new style.
Yeah. And like a cold quiche, eat one slice for breakfast or something.
Nice.
It'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ruby man, it was great meeting you. Do people know your real name? Am I allowed to say it?
Oh yeah, you can say it. Yeah.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Is that what I like? If we're friends, do I
Okay.
call you Amanda?
You can call me whatever. Honestly, at the end of the day, it was such an even split with people calling me Amanda and Ruby, and I own all the rights to everything in Ruby. So I was like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
switch it. It's easier to Google.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm not partial to either one. So
You really did choose a good showbiz name. Like, she
Yeah.
came here as Amanda Laurel Darnell. She left Ruby Dice.
Ruby Dice.
Yeah.
Need some lights.
Yeah. It's like
Oy.
Dirk Diggler.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Well, dude, it was really nice to meet you, and I look forward to meeting you in person. I was very excited to go see the Girl Jam Pack, but then the COVID came down, and now I haven't seen you guys.
Yeah.
So, I like all you guys are amazing talents and fabulous people. I think you're the only one I hadn't met yet. So now at least we met
I
virtually.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
it's great to meet you.
Good to meet you. I'll let you know when all this stuff comes out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and let me know when you want to jam.
Yeah, I definitely will. When we can jam again, I'll definitely
yeah.
need to jam.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Ruby.
Man, great talking to you.
Great talking to you too.
We are the wild ones. Ooh, we are the wild ones. Hey.
Great conversation with the amazingly talented and extremely cool Ruby Dice. Her latest single, Wild Ones, available now wherever it is you stream and download your jams. Go to rubydice.com for all of your Ruby Dice needs. And don't forget, gang, she is performing live on Facebook every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. doing that live stream action. That's getting so much action and traction, giving you musical satisfaction. All right, gang, don't forget that When you're out there checking out rubydice.com, you can subscribe to this podcast wherever it is that you find podcasts. And gang, listen, man, share these things, like it, leave us comments, let us know what you think. If you're a fan of Ruby Dice and you enjoyed this conversation, let us know. That's how we know you're participating in the thing. I mean, we know you're listening, we see numbers, but I want to hear what your heart is feeling. Boy, that was intense for a podcast. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Let's hear the rest of this tune. Wild Ones by Ruby Dice. Have a great day, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe, healthy, and sane. Let's get down.